How about them Cowboys?
Angry Cowboys fan, are you down to ride? Angry Cowboys fan, are you down to ride? Drop a like on the video, go ahead and subscribe.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and Angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. And a couple of videos ago, I said that the 2025 Dallas Cowboys roster is going to shape up to look like the 2021 Dallas Cowboys roster. The more I see this roster development, the more I see that high-scoring Dak Prescott passing for almost 4,500 yards coming off of a season-ending injury. This is what I see, Cowboys Nation. That offense where we had two serviceable running backs in the backfield while having a couple of dogs at the wide receiver position. What am I talking about, Cowboys Nation? Let's go ahead and talk about it during this Raw and Uncut. Get ready for the Angry Cowboys fans, Raw and Uncut.
Man, keeping it real. They keep it real. That's real.
All right, Cowboys Nation. The 2021 Dallas Cowboys head coach was Mike McCarthy, the offensive coordinator was Kellen Moore, and the defensive coordinator was Dan Quinn. This was one of those infamous 12-5 seasons where we lost to the San Francisco 49ers 17-23 during the wild card round of the playoffs. The year where the Dallas Cowboys offense was ranked number 1 in total yards with 6,953 yards, while also averaging 31.2 points per game. The Dallas Cowboys also led the league in total points, scoring 530. A year that saw Ezekiel Elliott barely crack 1,000 yards with 1,002 yards, while Tony Pollard contributed 719 yards carrying the football himself. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Ezekiel Elliott only recorded 31 yards in the 2021 postseason, while Tony Pollard recorded only 14 yards in that same postseason appearance. You can't win postseason games when your backs are only contributing 45 yards rushing together, Cowboys Nation. But CeeDee Lamb just got over 1,100 yards receiving, Amari Cooper raking in 865 yards receiving, while Dalton Schultz accumulated 808 yards receiving. Other receivers contributing on the field as well. Out of 16 games, the Dallas Cowboys wide receiver 2 and Michael Gallup only played 9 games due to injury. During said games, Michael Gallup only recorded 445 yards receiving, while Cedric Wilson netted 602 yards and Noah Brown contributed 184 yards respectively. This Dallas Cowboys team is the team that the haters said is our squad, where we had all kinds of dogs on both sides of the ball, where we should have been able to score another touchdown to secure the victory against the San Francisco 49ers and move to the divisional round of said playoffs. The 2021 offensive line, that consisted of Tyron Smith, who only played 11 games and had a Pro Bowl season that year, Connor Williams, Tyler Biadasz, Zach Martin, who also had a Pro Bowl appearance that year, and Lyle Collins, a line that gave opposing defenses 33 sacks on our QB1 that year, a line that had 2 Pro Bowlers on it. In 2021, the Dallas Cowboys defense was ranked 7th in the league. Then, if you go to 2022, the 2022 Dallas Cowboys stats, you'll see a couple of players where their stats go up, while the rest of the players go down on the offensive side of the ball. Dak Prescott only played 12 games due to missing time for an injury on his throwing hand, causing him to have a higher count of interceptions in his career or any other quarterback in the league for that year, as a matter of fact. And Ezekiel Elliott, he dipped in his production from 2021 to 2022. He gave us more touchdowns, but he also gave us less yardage on the field. Tony Pollard's production jumped from 2021 to 2022 with 1,007 yards rushing. In the 2022 postseason, Ezekiel Elliott only had 53 yards in 2 games, while Tony Pollard ran for 99 yards in 2 games. Noah Brown, he increased his performance from the last year with 184 yards to 555 yards receiving. The year where the Dallas Cowboys went 1 round further in the playoffs to only get beat once again by the San Francisco 49ers. Michael Gallup's output stayed roughly the same with 424 yards receiving. Dalton Schultz's production dipped from the previous year to just 577 yards. This is also the year where the Dallas Cowboys would pick up T.Y. Hilton for its deep threat. Hilton would only see 3 games and accumulate 121 yards and 0 touchdowns in all 3 games. The 2022 offensive line would see Tyler Smith added at the left tackle position, while Tyron Smith would only play 4 games during that season due to injury. You also had Connor McGovern, Tyler Biotish, who made the Pro Bowl, Zach Martin, who also made the Pro Bowl, and undrafted free agent Terrence Steele take the offensive line. This offensive line allowed 3 fewer sacks than the line the year prior, with only 30 sacks. But the defense in the 2022 season ranked 6th out of the 32 teams. The 2023 Dallas Cowboys offense was yet another throw first, ask questions later type of team. We got rid of Ezekiel Elliott to the New England Patriots and stuck with Tony Pollard and Rico Dowdle as our running back tandem. Tony Pollard was able to just break the 1,000-yard mark during the regular season while only having 56 yards in the postseason against the Green Bay Packers. Rico Dowdle, he contributed 361 yards and 2 touchdowns that season. But Dak Prescott had yet another high-yardage season by throwing 4,516 yards with 36 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. He was second in MVP voting, second team All-Pro, and was selected to the Pro Bowl, but declined the invite. CeeDee Lamb also had a record-breaking season that year, receiving with 1,749 yards and 12 touchdowns, first team All-Pro, and a Pro Bowl selection. Michael Gallup would continue to regress in his final year with the Dallas Cowboys. We also added Brandon Cooks to the wide receiver room, and he was able to give the Dallas Cowboys 657 yards and 8 touchdowns. The same year, we would see Jake Ferguson emerge as a viable threat at the tight end position. Jake Ferguson recorded 71 catches for 761 yards and 5 touchdowns, respectively. The defense for the 2023 season was ranked 5th out of the 32 teams due to a lack of run stopping and defensive tackles and linebackers. But Cowboys Nation, I see this 2025 Dallas Cowboys team on paper is better than those teams from 2021, 2022, and 2023. From the participation of the front office to the coaching staff and to the player personnel, I believe this team has a chance to be greater than the Dallas Cowboys team that Cowboys Nation said should have won the Super Bowl those years. But just take a look again at the different wide receiver rooms. I'll put it up on the screen right now. The 2021 wide receiver room, it looks pretty decent, doesn't it, Cowboys Nation? With a second-year CeeDee Lamb paired up with an Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and Noah Brown, this is why Dak Prescott will be able to have a great year throwing the football. 2025, we'll see Dak Prescott throwing to CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Jalen Tolbert, and Jonathan Mingo. All wide receivers who fit the mold of what Brian Schottenheimer wants to do with this offense. This will make opposing defensive coordinators have to respect the pass, leaving the box light for our current stable of running backs to run through. But today's offensive line is starting to shape up as the better offensive line that the Dallas Cowboys have had since Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, and Travis Frederick plowing the roads. Now, the Dallas Cowboys seems to be getting back to that style of football that sees our offense run through the running game, that typical ground and pound game that the Schottenheimers are known for, Marty Ball. But the question is, do we have a running back that can carry the load and break 1,000 yards rushing on the season? Do we have that change of pace back that can come in the game and continuously gash opposing defenses 20 yards a clip? A 3-down back that can average 4.1 yards a carry? The run game is going to be expected to set up the play-action pass, so the Dallas Cowboys rushing attack has to be on point with fundamentals, discipline, and effectiveness. But I'll tell you this, Cowboys Nation, I have more faith in this coaching staff than I did in the coaching staffs in 2021, 2022, and 2023. I trust Brian Schottenheimer to come up with more innovative and modern play calling than Mike McCarthy did. I trust Brian Schottenheimer to try to establish the run and sticking with said philosophy more than Mike McCarthy did. I expect the scheme to be tailored to Dak Prescott and not Dak Prescott being tailored to the scheme, and I feel this is what happened with Big Mike as the head coach. but I expect Brian Schottenheimer to be more open to change than Mike McCarthy was. Being more open to see what affects an upcoming opponent, looking at film and seeing plays that confuse an upcoming opponent and implementing said plays in the scheme when we face said opponent. This only happened in the Mike McCarthy era when Brian Schottenheimer and Kellen Moore suggested it. The only thing that has remained from the 2021 season up to today is the Dallas Cowboys' weakness in stopping the run. Not having proven veterans at the defensive tackle, one tech position. Of course, we have Mozzie Smith and Jay Toya, but what about the draft pick from the 2024 NFL draft in Denzel Jackson? This is yet another position the Dallas Cowboys will struggle with this season unless Jerry and Stephen Jones plug the leak before the water starts spilling out. The linebacker position is also a cause for concern. Right now, we have a lot of question marks when it comes to that position room. When will DeMarvin and Overshown be back? Who's going to be the green dot in the middle of our defense this year? What's going to happen with Damone Clark? How will Kenneth Murray and Jack Sanborn fit into the Matt Eberflus scheme? How will they use Maurice Leofau this year? There are so many questions that need to be answered with this position group, Cowboys Nation. And the cornerback position group is also a wild card to start off the season. Trayvon Diggs is meeting his rehab head on, but won't be available at the beginning of the season. Kalen Carson's had a rocky first year and ended with a season-ending injury. How is his recovery going, and will he be ready to start out the 2025 season? What about the 2025 draft pick of Siobhan Revel? He is coming back from injury. Will he be ready to start training camp? The only sure thing that we have in the cornerback position is Deron Bland. Other than those positions, I feel the defense should be ready and opportunistic for the 2025 NFL season. The defensive end position is probably the most complete position group on the defensive side of the ball, with players like Micah Parsons, Donovan Ezaraku, Dante Fowler Jr., Marshawn Nealon, and Sam Williams. The Dallas Cowboys should be able to have a constant pass rush no matter who's in the game. I also see Matt Eberflus using Marshawn Nealon more on the inside while having Micah Parsons and Donovan Ezaraku on the edge rushing. But Cowboys Nation, I see the 2025 Dallas Cowboys offense being one that is better than any offense the Dallas Cowboys have had in the past 5 years. More talent at the wide receiver position, better rushing talent in the backfield, more attitude on the offensive line, and a QB1 coming off of a season-ending injury. And y'all know how Dak Prescott plays when he's put in that situation. He balls out. So, Cowboys Nation, I foresee this team being like those 2021, 2022, and 2023 teams where the Dallas Cowboys had the ability to put 40 burgers on opponents' heads. The defense could pin their ears back and get the sacks and interceptions and turnovers. But when the team who ran the ball the best, they met up with the Dallas Cowboys, it might spell disaster for the middle of our defense. So Brian Schottenheimer and the Dallas Cowboys offense needs to be able to shoot it out with any offense that they face. I understand that defense wins championships, but not when you're missing the middle of said defense. Not when you still have questions as to when it comes to the rushing attack. The Dallas Cowboys still have time to correct these issues when it comes to the defensive tackle, linebacker, and cornerback position, but we need them to treat that as a priority. We can't go into the season with this issue because it will be the issue that bites us in the ass in the long run. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. Cowboys Nation, what do you feel about what I had to say about the 2025 Dallas Cowboys? Which Cowboys wide receiver room do you think is the best? Y'all know how we do it. We always talk about it in the comment section. But if you're digging this content and want to help the Angry Cowboys Fan channel reach its goal of 10,000 subscribers, we are only a few away, Cowboys Nation. Drop a like on this video and please consider sharing it with anybody that you know is a Dallas Cowboys fan. If you are DC for life and can't wait until the start of training camp and it's bugging you ready to get some NFL football, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I go live, release a video, podcast episode, film breakdown, or Madden 25 or College Football 25 gameplay. And I'm not putting pressure on the Dallas Cowboys to do better than what they did in 21, 22, and 23. I'm just stating that on paper, the Dallas Cowboys team is more talented than years prior. So let's take that talent, maximize it, and use it to get where we haven't been in the last 30 years. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan, and I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.